Gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And those who serve her, the U.S. Air Force Training Squadron from Columbus, Mississippi, are on their way, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Steve Annenstar.
How about that postcard? Race 14 of the NASCAR Nationwide Series about to get underway at Kentucky Speedway on a steamy Saturday night, 84 degrees. Had some showers and some heavy downpours earlier in the day today. Obviously looks beautiful now. We are keeping an eye on the radar, and there are some showers way out to the west of us. We don't expect them to get here, but then again, this time of the year, you never know what's going to pop up on the radar. Rusty's made it upstairs to join Andy Petrie and Marty Reed for the call of the race. And Marty, let's start with a guy who's going to start pretty deep in the field.
Yeah, and he's going to make some history if he can do it, Alan. Brad Keselowski starting 25th. The thing you got to remember, no one has ever won this race starting further back than 11th.
Well, I know it doesn't sound good for Brad Keselowski, but last weekend he qualified 24th or 25th, made it all the way up to the front and won that race. He had a great race last week. I really don't know why he can't do it again.
Well, if anybody can do it, Brad can, but there are some pitfalls with starting that far back. You get back there in traffic and you never know what can happen in front of you, especially at this track and these races that have the younger drivers in them. You never know what can happen, and Brad probably knows that, but he's pretty good at dodging trouble, but he'll have to watch out tonight.
Well, Joey Logano, one of two former winners in this race. Of course, we've already documented the fact he's going for 3 in a row. Carl Edwards, the other former winner in the event. Let's talk a little bit about Joey, because it's never been done in the Nationwide Series. 3 wins at the same track from the pole position. Mark Martin came the closest.
Well, you know, he hasn't won yet this year. It's probably one of the things we're going to talk about when we talk to him as our in-race reporter, that, you know, he hasn't won all year long. He's got to have his mind on this race. I think he's got to be thinking about it. He's qualified awful well. I mean, he's almost a half a second faster than the second-place qualifier. So if he's going to get back on track and win, he can do it tonight because he's got a fast car, guys.
Yeah, and if we talk about all the people that have beaten Joey Logano at Kentucky, it's going to be a real short conversation.
Yeah, real short list,
Nobody's beaten him here yet.
He's the youngest winner ever in the Nationwide Series. He picked up that win here just 2 years ago, and there he is. The look of Joey Logano, very confident, very sure that he has the car underneath him to make it 3 straight here at the 1.5 mile Kentucky Speedway. 43 cars in line. It is a beautiful sight with the fans still filing into their seats here at the 60,000 seat capacity Kentucky Speedway. Guess what? It's time to go trackside, and let's get this baby started.
And now, the most famous words in racing. You've been waiting for them. Here's the world ambassador from the Cincinnati Bengals, Dahane Jones. Kentucky, are you ready? Kentucky, are you ready? Let's bring on the thunder! Drivers, start your engines!
Fire up. Fire it up. He was good. That's before we get started, but it's all about the big track tonight.
And just so you'll know, we are in via.
Think we can do good down there, Myron.
Road. I will.
They'll get her tuned in.
Well, I think Dahante's got everybody fired up.
What a way to get started.
Man, what a way to start the race. All right, let's talk about the competition caution. We're going to have it at lap number 25. They just want to check everybody's tires because remember we had heavy rains here overnight and through the morning, so they're worried about the track abrasiveness maybe creating a problem, so it's just a safety factor. There's your pole sitter, Joey Logano, and we'll step aside. When we come back, you'll get a chance to talk to him. Maybe it's your question. Here's where he set that record on Father's Day, the youngest ever to win the Nationwide Series. He's our in-race reporter, and we'll talk to him when we come back. Well, in case you weren't with us a little earlier today, Joey Logano picked up his 4th Nationwide Series pole this season, and as we've stated a couple of times, his 3rd straight here at Kentucky. He clicked off a lap a half a second better than everybody else, 30.47 at 177 and change. His 11th career pole in just 51 starts in the series. Across the top of the screen will be our starting field and a career best start for Josh Wise and Coleman Presley, both of them junior motorsports machines. Those that didn't make the field, Brian Keselowski and Kenny Hendrick. Let's talk to our in-race reporter, Rusty.
Joey, Rusty Wallace, ESPN, you got us?
I got you.
Hey, Joey, we all know you haven't won here this year in the Nationwide Series, but you won the last 2 years in a row at this Kentucky race, man. You got to be thinking about making it 3 in a row tonight right here.
Yeah, we definitely got a good shot at it. This is my favorite race car, and I feel like we got a good shot at it. I was surprised on how fast we qualified, so if we keep that speed in the race here the whole time, we're going to be great. So sure, track could be quite a bit different. It did rain pretty hard last night, so let's keep up on our adjustments here.
All right, Joey, we've got an ESPN mailbag question. It comes from Mary in Bloomington, Illinois. The question is, what challenges do you have traveling back and forth from Michigan to Kentucky present for both of your race teams?
It's tough because it cuts it a little bit short on both ends as far as being able to debrief with your crew chiefs and stuff like that. Makes it a little bit harder because you're running, you have to go right to the next racetrack. But it could have been a lot tougher if it rained out tonight or something like that. If we didn't get to race, it'd be hard to get back here. So, but the good thing is the sun's out and we didn't have that many issues. Just a few plane and helicopter rides and jumping the old GameStop soda and trying to go 3 for 3.
All right, Joey, thanks for talking to us. Now, Andy's going to speak to your crew chief, Kevin Kidd.
Hello, Kevin. Andy Petrie in the booth. You got us?
Yep, got you, Andy.
Hey, Kevin. This track here at Kentucky is a little unique. It's fast, 1.5 miles, but it's really rough. Can you kind of tell us what the challenges are for setting up for a track like this?
Yeah, absolutely, Andy. It is very rough. I think the last time I was here was 2006 testing Cup cars, and it's definitely gotten a lot rougher since then. It does, obviously play some challenges in our setup. We kind of have to do some compromises with shocks and springs and just the overall package just to get through the bumps so that the roughs, the ride's not as rough on our driver and we can maintain mechanical grip the best we can.
Okay, Kevin, you guys are obviously very good at it. Good luck tonight, and thanks for talking to us.
Danny.
36.
All right, let's take a look at the rest of the onboard cameras. You already know we have one with Joey Logano. How about with Mr. Scott Ryan's in the number 11, then Justin Allgaier, Brad Keselowski, Eric McClure, Mike Bliss, Stephen Wallace, and Trevor Bayne. And our over-the-wall reporter is going to be Mark Hollywood Armstrong, front tire changer on the 66. Hollywood, there's something special about this track. Tell us about it.
Well, Marty, pit crews talk about it every time we come here. It's this very small surface that the guys have to stand on before a pit stop, and it's very hard to balance on. So this could cause some big issues tonight on pit road. Guys?
We've actually seen guys holding on to the back belt sometimes to keep them from falling off.
Yeah, it's like a balance beam down there.
All right, well, let's talk about what's happening on pit road. Get the latest update. Dr. Jerry Punch, you're up.
Thank you, Marty. In Coleman Presley's debut last week for Junior Motorsports, he spun on lap 4. Now, crew chief Tony Urey Sr. told me it took him half the race to calm the young man down. But when he did calm him down, he drove like a veteran and finished a respectable 12. Now, this is his last scheduled race tonight in the 88 car, unless he makes something happen. Now, those of you who watched his dad Robert and grandfather Bob drive know that when the Presleys absolutely had to make something happen, they did. So stay tuned. Vince?
Presley's teammate for Junior Motorsports, Josh Wise, was also impressive in his debut for Junior Motorsports last week. He ran all night long and finished 16th. They felt like they had a much better car than even 16th would indicate. But the key was that they ran all night long. They haven't been able to do that much in the 7 car this season. They feel as though they've got a top 10 car tonight. Josh Wise qualified 4th. But the key for the team is staying in the top 30 in points, so Danica Patrick is securely in the field when she returns in 2 weeks. Dave Burns?
Vince, Mike Bliss is in the 33 car again this weekend, and I asked Mike if he feels any pressure knowing that owner Kevin Harvick has won twice in the car this year, and he says, I don't feel any pressure to prove anything. The equipment is good, I know what I can do as a driver, they know what I can do with their car, and he proved it last week with